What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tyrone Spong. Tyrone Spong, of course, was the opponent for Alexander Usyk of his introduction into the heavyweight division. And he had this to say. He said, "I am shocked by the alleged test results disclosed by VADA and tweeted out by Mr. Hearn. I deny that I have ever taken a substance named in VADA's report. I have asked for a testing of the B sample at a laboratory of my choosing. Testing performed last week at the request of Illinois Boxing Commission showed what I've always known, that I'm a clean fighter. I asked Matchroom to publicly acknowledge that I tested negative for all performance-enhancing substances just a few days ago. Any adverse finding is impossible, in my opinion, and manipulative attempt to remove me from this fight. I voluntarily agreed to VADA testing because I have nothing to hide. I will not rest until I'm absolved of this outlandish allegation and will pursue legal avenues." Okay. Those are the words of Tyrone Spong. He's stating that he's innocent. He went for a test 3 days before this and everything was good, so it was impossible for him to show up with a dirty test with VADA. Okay. Now, this is what I'll say about this, because when I heard it, it was like, okay, another, dirty test. But then we have to look at these tests now. We look at Dillian White and his situation, right? He's waiting for the B sample. Okay, then we had, of course, Jarrell Miller, which he had several drugs in his system. That's more like a bad case. Then we look at Eric Molina, right? That was with UCAD. Okay, so you have UCAD, then you have VADA. Now you have another situation with VADA, right? And this is another situation where you have one test saying that you're dirty and then another test saying that you're clean. You know what I mean? So, it's one of these things where if he asks for the testing of the B sample at a laboratory of my choosing. If he's going to pay for it, I don't see I don't see the problem with that. You know what I mean? Because, okay, Dillian White took 2 different tests. He passed one, but allegedly he failed the other, right? So those things like that happens in the sport of boxing. The question is, which one do you choose? But Eddie never said it was off. But then if he said he had opponents on standby, more than likely, if you read between the lines, yes. And my thing is, here's the problem. Eddie mentioned Tyrone Spong had, adverse finding due to VADA. VADA contacted him, and his side, so he let everyone else know. But here's the problem. It contradicts what he did before. That makes what happened with Dillian White and himself, right, and his team more suspicious. Why? Because Tyrone Spong is in the same situation as Dillian White. Okay? He passed one test, but he failed the other test. So now, since the VADA has come out, which I guess is the, I would assume, the primary tester in this case, well, he wants the B sample, right? If he wants the B sample, but then everyone knows, so everyone looks and labels him as a cheat at this point, then it makes sense of what he's saying. Well, look, give me the sample, the B sample. We'll take it and get it tested on my expense, at a facility of my choosing, because I don't trust the facility. If VADA have ever been squeaky clean, look at the Brandon Rios situation, And the president said, well, in that case, because, Brandon Rios, after the Pacquiao fight, tested positive, for some kind of diuretic, which was a banned substance, right? It helped you cut weight. Okay. And the guys, they didn't have equipment. They told them to piss in a cup in a dirty bottle or whatnot. You don't know what chemical was in that bottle if it was dirty. you know. But then again, we do know Brandon Rios had problems making weight. So, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like, I don't know. That's a toss-up of what you want to believe in the evidence that's presented before you, you know. But Tyrone Spong, you know, has he ever tested positive before? You know, he did volunteer for VADA. You know, could this be a cover-up? Did they look at that opponent and said, you know what, shades of Joshua? Hell no, we're going to get someone else, right? Who knows? I mean, you got to assume it all, because at this point, if he's saying, hey, I want to pursue legal actions, you know, and I will not rest until this resolved. If I'm a guy and I'm a clean fighter, I would be feeling, or I would be saying these exact things. Feeling and saying, you know what I mean? Because I feel that I was cheated. I feel that, you know what, you're going to compensate me because we still haven't found the B sample. You still haven't found the B sample with Dillian Whyte, yet he was able to fight. Nobody knew shit. You know what I'm saying? But now that we know, but it would be the case that this is not an Eddie Hearn fighter. He's not a matchroom fighter. You see what I'm saying? But Dillian Whyte was. So then that would be showing favoritism, that the guy that was not the matchroom fighter, all of a sudden, hey, before the fight, now we're seeing that he's enclosed, that he's tested positive, so now he can't fight, right? I think if Eddie Hearn was going to allow I think what happens, and this happened in the Billy Joe Saunders fight also, when Billy Joe's going to fight Demetrius Andrade, right? You know, this is the same. This is a similar situation with that. Oh, he tested positive. We got to find someone else. Sorry, you know, you failed the test, kid. What do you do? But then if you go deeper into that particular substance that Billy Joe Saunders had, you know, was totally different. You know, it was acceptable out of training or whatnot in the UK, so he was taking it. You know, that should have all been brought into consideration before the fight was canceled. Okay, so in this situation with Tyrone Spong, I feel that, you know, that because he did that with Dillian Whyte, he has an obligation or a duty to see that through versus, oh, you test dirty, let's get somebody else. You know what I mean? And again, Eddie Hearn said he did not see it, but he did reveal it before the fight. So that makes you suspicious, like you didn't say anything about Dillian Whyte with UCAD or the BBBFC. You know? So, you know, to be real about it, we don't really know what's going on with Tyrone Spong. We just know what VADA's report is. You know, but it has to be further investigated before we can make a conclusion. Right? You're innocent before proving guilty, but it seems like it's the other way around. Right? Because Dillian Whyte was ran up this flagpole too. You know, but the problem was they allowed him to fight. That's the only problem. And that's the only difference. You see what I'm saying? He was still able to make his money. He was still able to fight, right? Then after the fact, that was released. You know, and Team Rivas didn't know anything about it. So, you know, Tyrone, if he is innocent, I think he should do exactly what he set out to do. If it just kind of fizzles under the rug, okay, this is just a speech, you know, a damage control speech. But if he pursues it, that shows that there is interest, that shows that he is putting energy into righting the wrong, clearing his name, okay? So that's my counterpunch on that concerning Tyrone Spong. You guys tell me what you think about this situation. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.